They say the brightest stars burn half as long, and looking back, the silence they left behind is deafening. Time moves forward, but the memories of these young legends remain frozen in perfection. Here at Celebrity Tribute Hub, we honor the lives cut short but never forgotten. These are the icons who changed Hollywood forever. James Dean. He was the very definition of cool, a rebel who spoke to a generation without saying a word. James Dean wasn't just an actor, he was a cultural shift wrapped in a leather jacket. With only 3 major films, East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant, he achieved immortality. Tragically, on September 30th, 1955, his life ended in a fateful car accident at just 24 years old. Though he is gone, his image remains the eternal symbol of youth and longing. Marilyn Monroe. She was the world's most famous blonde, a mixture of vulnerability and unmatched glamour. Marilyn Monroe captivated audiences with a charm that masked a deep, often misunderstood complexity. From the comedy of Some Like It Hot to the allure of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she owned the screen. We lost this icon on August 4, 1962, at age 36, due to a barbiturate overdose. Her legacy isn't just in film, but in the enduring mystery and beauty she left behind. Bruce Lee. He didn't just practice martial arts, he transformed them into a philosophy that bridged East and West. Bruce Lee possessed a physical charisma and speed that the camera could barely contain. His masterpiece, Enter the Dragon, revolutionized action cinema and paved the way for countless stars. Shockingly, on July 20, 1973, he passed away from cerebral edema at the young age of 32. He remains the dragon who awakened the world, proving that true strength comes from within. Brandon Lee following in a giant's footsteps is never easy, but he was carving out a brilliant path all his own. Brandon Lee brought a dark, poetic intensity to his work that promised a superstar future. His final performance in The Crow is hauntingly beautiful, a role that became his epitaph. On March 31, 1993, a heartbreaking on-set accidental shooting took him from us at only 28. It is a tragedy that still hurts, reminding us how fragile life truly is. River Phoenix. He was widely considered the most talented actor of his generation, possessing a raw sensitivity that felt incredibly real. River Phoenix didn't act, he felt every moment, making us feel it too. His Oscar-nominated role in Running on Empty and the grit of Stand By Me showed a depth beyond his years. We lost this sensitive soul on October 31, 1993, to a drug overdose at just 23. We are left wondering what masterpieces he would have created had he stayed. Leah. She was the princess of R&B, a multi-talented force who glided effortlessly between music and the big screen. Aaliyah possessed an angelic grace and a cool confidence that captivated millions instantly. She shone brightly in Romeo Must Die and was poised to take over Hollywood completely. Devastatingly, a plane crash claimed her life on August 25, 2001, when she was only 22 years old. Her music and that unforgettable smile continue to inspire new generations of fans. Heath Ledger. He was a chameleon who disappeared into his roles, refusing to be defined by his leading man looks. Heath Ledger chased artistic truth, giving performances that were nothing short of electric. His portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight earned a posthumous Oscar and redefined villainy forever. On January 22, 2008, an accidental medication overdose ended his life at 28. He left us on the highest of notes, a final bow that will never be forgotten. Paul Walker. With piercing blue eyes and an easygoing smile, he was the heart of a franchise about family. Paul Walker was more than an action star. He was a humanitarian and a genuine friend. As Brian O'Connor in the Fast Furious saga, he became a brother to viewers worldwide. Tragically, a car crash took him on November 30, 2013, at the age of 40. His legacy rides on, reminding us that the most important thing in life is the people we love. Chadwick Boseman. He brought dignity and regality to every character, portraying history's heroes with quiet power. Chadwick Boseman was a king in every sense of the word, embodying strength while fighting a silent battle. As T'Challa in Black Panther, he gave the world a hero that meant everything to millions. On August 28, 2020, he passed away from colon cancer at 43, a struggle he kept private. He showed us that a true hero fights until the very end. Corey Monteith. He was the awkward, lovable quarterback who taught us it was okay to sing our hearts out. Corey Monteith brought a goofy, relatable charm to television that made us all root for him. His role as Finn Hudson on Glee captured the confusing, beautiful struggle of finding oneself. Sadly, he died on July 13, 2013, from drug and alcohol toxicity at age 31. The music stopped too soon, but the joy he brought to the screen still echoes. Brittany Murphy. She was a burst of sunshine with a giggle that could light up the darkest room. Brittany Murphy possessed a rare, infectious energy that made us fall in love with her instantly. From the lovable Ty in Clueless to her gritty, dramatic role in 8 Mile, she showed incredible range. Shockingly, on December 20, 2009, she passed away from pneumonia and anemia at just 32 years old. Her sudden absence left a void in Hollywood, silencing a voice that was full of life, laughter, and promise. Anton Yelchin. He was an artist with an old soul, bringing a deep intelligence and sincerity to every role he touched. Anton Yelchin wasn't just an actor, he was a student of cinema with a brilliant future ahead. He charmed the world as Chekhov in the rebooted Star Trek films, winning over fans old and new. In a heartbreaking freak accident, he died on June 19, 2016, at the age of 27. He was a bright light extinguished in an instant, leaving us to mourn the art he never got to make. Cameron Boyce. He grew up before our eyes, a freckled-faced boy who blossomed into a young man of immense character. Cameron Boyce was a beacon of kindness, using his platform to spread love and charity. He dazzled a generation of kids in Jessie and the Descendants franchise, dancing his way into their hearts. Devastatingly, he passed away in his sleep from epilepsy on July 6, 2019, at only 20 years old. His legacy isn't just entertainment, it is a reminder to choose kindness every single day. Jonathan Brandis. For many growing up in the 90s, his face was on every magazine cover and bedroom wall. Jonathan Brandis was the ultimate teen idol, but beneath the fame was a serious, dedicated actor. He led the cast of Sequest DSV and terrified us as young Bill Denbrough in Stephen King's It. Tragically, he took his own life on November 12, 2003, passing away at the age of 27. We remember the blue-eyed boy who defined an era, wishing he knew how much he was truly loved. Brad Renfro discovered on a whim he possessed a raw, untrained talent that most actors spend a lifetime trying to fake. Brad Renfro brought a gritty authenticity to the screen that was captivating and heartbreaking. His debut in The Client was nothing short of a revelation, proving he could stand toe-to-toe with Hollywood legends. Sadly, his battles with addiction ended his life on January 15, 2008, at just 25. We honor the incredible spark he had, remembering the talent rather than the tragedy. John Candy. He was the gentle giant of comedy, a man whose mere presence felt like a warm, familiar hug. John Candy didn't just make us laugh, he made us feel good about being human. Whether he was the lovable Uncle Buck or the chatty traveler in planes, trains, and automobiles, he was pure magic. We lost this beloved soul to a heart attack on March 4, 1994, at age 43. The laughter he left behind is timeless, but the world feels a little colder without him in it. Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was a titan of the craft, capable of turning the smallest gesture into a moment of pure genius. Philip Seymour Hoffman commanded respect with an intensity that few actors could ever match. His Oscar-winning turn in Capote and his powerful presence in The Hunger Games showcased his limitless range. Tragically, addiction claimed him on February 2, 2014, at the age of 46. He left behind a gallery of complex characters, reminding us that true art often comes from a place of deep pain. Robin Williams. He was a lightning bolt of energy, a comic genius who gave everything to make the world smile. Robin Williams possessed a mind that moved faster than light, yet held a heart full of deep empathy. From the voice of the Genie in Aladdin to his Oscar-winning wisdom in Good Will Hunting, he did it all. The world shattered on August 11, 2014, when he passed by suicide at 63. He gave us so much joy, and we only wish we could have given some back to him. Patrick Swayze. He was the perfect blend of masculine strength and tender grace, a true romantic lead. Patrick Swayze could fight the bad guys and dance with elegance, all in the same breath. He defined romance in Ghost and gave us the time of our lives in Dirty Dancing. On September 14, 2009, he lost a hard-fought battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 57. He fought with the heart of a tiger, leaving us with memories of a man who truly lived every moment. Naya Rivera. She was a powerhouse of talent, with a voice that could cut glass and a wit to match. Naya Rivera broke barriers on television, playing a character that helped countless young people feel seen. Her portrayal of Santana Lopez on Glee was fierce, vulnerable, and absolutely unforgettable. Heartbreakingly, she died in a drowning accident on July 8, 2020, at 33, using her last strength to save her son. She died a hero, leaving behind a legacy of love that transcends the screen. Lee Thompson-Young. He burst onto the scene with a bright smile and a quiet confidence that made him an instant favorite. Lee Thompson-Young charmed a generation of kids as a Disney hero before maturing into a solid dramatic actor. He defined cool in the famous Jet Jackson and brought steady reliability to the hit series Rizzoli Isles. Tragically, he took his own life on August 19, 2013, passing away at the young age of 29. We remember the joy he brought to our screens, masking the silent pain he carried within. Dana Plato. She was America's sweetheart, the girl next door who seemed to have the perfect life on television. Dana Plato became a household name with a sparkle in her eye that hid a tumultuous reality. As Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes, she was a central part of one of the 80s most beloved families. Sadly, her life ended on May 8, 1999, due to a drug overdose at the age of 34. Her story is a somber reminder of the pressures of childhood fame, but her smile remains timeless. Sam Kinison. He was a scream of rebellion, a comedic force of nature who broke every rule in the book. Sam Kinison didn't just tell jokes, he roared them, channeling rage into a unique form of therapy. His legendary stand-up specials and appearance in Back to School influenced a generation of comics who followed. Devastatingly, a drunk driver ended his life on April 10, 1992, in a car crash at age 38. The silence he left behind is loud, but the echoes of his laughter still ring true. Chris Farley. He was a physical comedy hurricane, willing to throw his body through a wall just to hear us laugh. Chris Farley possessed a rare vulnerability beneath his manic energy that made him impossible not to love. From his iconic sketch as Matt Foley on SNL to the hilarity of Tommy Boy, he was pure joy. Heartbreakingly, he died from a drug overdose on December 18, 1997, at just 33 years old. He wanted to be John Belushi, but he became a legend in his own right, gone far too soon. Jennifer Syme. She was a quiet beauty working behind the scenes, a muse to creative giants in the industry. Jennifer Syme was an assistant to David Lynch and a talented actress with a melancholic grace. Her brief appearance in Lost Highway hinted at a unique presence that the screen loved. Tragically, following the loss of her child, she died in a car accident on April 2, 2001, at 28. Her memory is forever linked to the loved ones she left behind, a tragic footnote in a story of grief. Heather O'Rourke. She was the angelic face of our collective nightmares, a child star with an unforgettable presence. Heather O'Rourke delivered one of the most famous lines in cinema history with a chilling innocence. As Carol Ann in the Poltergeist trilogy, she became a permanent icon of 80s horror cinema. In a shock to the world, she passed away from septic shock on February 1, 1988, at the tender age of 12. It feels unfair that such a bright little light was extinguished before she truly had a chance to shine. Sharon Tate. She was the epitome of the swinging 60s, a radiant beauty with a gentle soul and infinite promise. Sharon Tate was more than a headline, she was a talented actress on the brink of superstardom. Her performance in Valley of the Dolls showcased a comedic timing and sweetness that captivated audiences. Horrifically, she was murdered on August 9, 1969, at age 26, a victim of a crime that ended an era. we choose to remember her for her life and light, not just the darkness of her death. Corey Haim. He was the poster boy for teenage dreams, with a charismatic grin that plastered every teen magazine. Corey Haim defined 80s youth culture, forming one half of Hollywood's most famous duo. His role in The Lost Boys made him a superstar, capturing the effortless cool of the decade. Sadly, after years of struggle, he passed away from pneumonia on March 10, 2010, at the age of 38. He remains forever young in our memories, a symbol of a nostalgic time that has long since passed. James Gandolfini. He changed television history, creating a character so complex that we loved him despite his darkness. James Gandolfini was a gentle giant in real life, possessing an imposing physical presence and deep emotional intelligence. As Tony Soprano in The Sopranos, he delivered arguably the greatest performance in TV history. Shockingly, he died of a heart attack on June 19, 2013, at age 51, while on vacation. The screen went black, but his impact on the art of acting will never fade away. Luke Perry. He was the ultimate brooding bad boy who turned out to be the kindest man in the room. Luke Perry defined the 90s cool, making hearts race with just a look. As Dylan McKay on Beverly Hills 90210, he became a global phenomenon, later finding new fans on Riverdale. Devastatingly, a massive stroke took him from us on March 4, 2019, at the age of 52. He left us as a beloved father and icon, proving that cool never goes out of style. These legends may have left the stage early, but the applause has never stopped. Their films and shows are time capsules, preserving their youth and talent for eternity. They reminded us to feel, to laugh, and to cherish every moment. Which of these stars do you miss the most? Tell us the name that touched your heart in the comments below.